Hello. Welcome to Dynamic Disruptors, inspiring elite conscious visionaries, CEOs, innovators, and disruptors to explore the nuance and the power of self mastery, energy, and consciousness through the lens of business, personal expression, and legacy achievements. So, we are so excited, Caroline, that we are beginning this first live stream on New Era Visionary Leadership. And this is such an important topic. We're going to go deep into this. If you're a conscious or spiritual visionary, if you've achieved success, but you feel like there's a plateau in satisfaction, income, or just the speed at which you're creating, if you feel like there's some kind of hidden limiter, hidden barrier, or more importantly, you just want to feel in control of your outcomes, feel mastered, feel this rapid expansion in life and business, this is where you want to be. You're going to want to watch today and join us and over the coming weeks as well for the Dynamic Disruptors. So today, Caroline and I are going to have a conversation with you around the power of illuminating blind spots, collapsing time to reach your visionary goals in record time. So let's get into the introductions. Caroline, why don't you go first?
Hi, Lauren. I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you and discuss all these topic. And I think it's very important. So, just a quick introduction. I'm Caroline Letrange, a private travel agent, and I run a travel agency specialized in luxury villas, rentals, and holiday destination globally. I assist executive assistants, wellness coaches, athlete manager to find the right property for their retreats, also crafting relaxing holidays in privacy and seclusion for high net worth individuals.
Magic. And I've seen some of those properties and they're just absolutely incredible. So on to me. If you are joining me here and don't know me, I am Lauren Zavlunov. I'm a metaphysical advisor, mentor, and founder of the Black Diamond Process. I help visionaries collapse time towards their legacy goals, unlock hidden genius, and essentially help you create and code your reality to get what you want. So our topic today is really around just lightly touching the aspect of hidden limiters, barriers that we feel. We know that we are architecting our reality, right? With every move, with every belief, with the frequency that we emit, who we are being, every choice, right? So Caroline, I definitely want to hear also your thoughts around just visionary leaders. If you're a visionary leader, a seeker, knowing that beingness, right, in the world is directly influencing what you create in life and business, but you can't see what you can't see, right? there's that.
Yeah, you're totally right. I think blind spots are really a silent saboteur of success. I can see that in my line of work, and they refer sometimes of a lack of awareness or insights in certain areas of your personal life or your business that hinder this progress you're seeking. So it can be repeated mistakes, it can be missed opportunities, or even detrimental habits that you have, and then you not really knowing what it is, and you're repeating the same patterns over and over again. I can give a quick example because my background is sports and climbing mountains. So treadmill for me is a right example. And say you can run on a treadmill for hours, but you're not going anywhere. And this is what I see when I communicate with entrepreneurs, that this blind spot is there and prevent them to move forward.
1000% beautifully articulated. Yeah, it's that treadmill of a lot of people will think if they're in a sort of pattern or a belief of needing to do more, taking more action, and they keep throwing more action and more action and more action at it, right? There's the treadmill there and nothing actually really changes because we have this, very often it's subconscious. So there are always those shadows, hidden limiters that affect our efficiency, affect our personal power, affect our
Yeah.
satisfaction, right? So going into like what that looks like, right? You were saying that there's a pattern there. A lot of the times it feels like a plateau of some kind, even though you're highly successful, even though on the outside it looks like XYZ, even though you feel I have so much already. There's like a hidden ceiling that we keep hitting, right? Over and over again. And this could be your belief, right? Yeah.
I like your analogy on ceilings. I think that's a great one. And the patterns I see, it's overworking or fear of the unknown most of the time, and then isolation. So
Mhm.
seeing all these patterns, what we do with our villas, for example, we create retreats and we take all these entrepreneurs away from their burnout or their lack of work-life balance, and then we put them in an environment which is a comforting one, not too distant from what they know, but distant enough so that they can reflect and get some feedbacks about their blind spot on what is blocking them from moving forward.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like we're such a great team. This is why this works so well is because very often removing yourself right from the environments, like a pattern disrupt, that's literally what that is. You're disrupting the pattern. You're taking the individual out of their normal environment, putting them into, somewhere where it is beautiful and the focus, right, is rejuvenation, nourishment, and all that beautiful stuff. And then my work is, okay, what happens when you go home, right? How do you continue that beautiful momentum? Because a lot of this is also a hidden ceiling. Like you'll go on the retreats, you'll do the things, you'll go to XYZ, and then you come right back to the same pattern. So that is like when you're doing the retreat, there's the opportunity to actually unlock this pattern disrupt to create an entirely new momentum in your life so that you take that with you, right? You bring it back to we'll call it the old environment with new programming. So I love that. That's the entire purpose of creating a retreat and putting someone in a beautiful space to create this. But it's so important, right, to continue that. I always say, like when I used to meditate a whole lot, right? It wasn't just about, okay, can you meditate in a cave? Can you meditate in your room, right? What happens when you get up off the cushion, right? What happens when you are in a high pressure situation? What happens when your kid's having a meltdown, right? This is like the direct application to life. So I love it. I feel like that what you are creating is a portal experience for and an opportunity. It's like literally a portal or a doorway to open up a new level of operational, like creating a new operational system in essence. We're talking right about the plateaus, maybe even talking about what are the indicators, right? Because a lot of my clients don't, we miss it. We miss the indicator of it because it can be very subtle. It doesn't mean that like a lot of my clients aren't actually burnt out. They're experiencing a very strong ache or a very strong desire, or they're frustrated in some way, or one that I love to bring up because a lot of like our people are the disruptors and the innovators. They are bored. They are actually bored. And these are all indicators, right?
Yes, there's two things that I would say, and I think what you do is fantastic because we bring them in an environment where they have to be together. So sometimes there's a resistance to feedback, and people take them as a personal attack. So we try to bring them in an environment where you have to have those feedbacks. You have to see areas where you need the development, and then the isolation where they just analyze everything through data or things that are very, very material in the business, and then they take this, open up, and then you continue the work with them. And what we try to do, and I think you're doing great after that, we take the frustration, the boredom, the lack of progress, we try to identify and address all these blind spots, well, in a fantastic environment where they can relax, where the office is no longer there, the burden of life, I would say, is no longer there, and we can address this problem to open to new pathways or new possibilities. And it's kind of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable with what we don't know, and embrace change. And then when they come back, it's great because you can grab this and then work on this with this spark of opening and say, yes, I've realized something. As I was away, I realized something. You know, our retreats are 7 days, so it's a long time to sit, to take the time to reflect and go through those frustrations and boredom, and then work on that when they come back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that when we talk about 7 days, right? So many who are the demands of being a high performer or being a leader or having to remain strong. And there's sometimes a resistance, right, to, yes, having that vulnerability or saying, I'm absolutely one of these people. That I don't know. That is such a hard thing to admit. I don't know what I don't know. But understanding that vulnerability is a key to actual power. And when we're talking about being in a new environment, right, that literally forces us to be quiet, to look at our stuff, to not decide to put all the energy into the work as a form of avoidance, or right, it's we are absolutely confronted now with our feelings and being able to have that time to do that. And I always look at it as like even just I think of like being a mother, my own child, right? When she's bored, I'm like, yes, that's amazing. Because in that boredom, in that looking at oneself, in that, maybe feeling uncomfortable in the unknown, what we see and what we create, that is when I look at my child and I say, okay, she's bored, that's wonderful, because I know she's going to tap into some kind of really powerful creativity, because it forces her to sit with herself and see. And I look at that like with myself as well, right? And with very high performance people, that when they slow down, they realize, here's all the things that I haven't been looking at. And then when you do that, I think a lot of people at first resist it, but then they realize that in itself is a magnificent portal to to healing, to expansion in their business. And then you actually start seeing your sight is different. So that's what we're also talking about, right? Sight being different on how they're looking and how they're perceiving things that are in their world that perhaps they're not satisfied with, in terms of personal business, accelerating that legacy goal.
Yeah, I think mixing life and business, I think there needs to be a balance. And from my side of example, I'm more in a sports environment. I've been climbing mountains in the Himalayas, and what I see is pushing those boundaries, getting the push to say, am I able to go further? Can I explore? Can I step back for a while and then move on to something which is totally unknown, but ultimately that will drive progress and make me satisfy and push me beyond boredom and rebalance my life. I think it's if we try not to settle with the status quo, it's very important. We need to be aware of our capabilities, and in sports and climbing mountains, it's very important. You need to know where you're at, and adaptability, and then adjust, and then push forward. Innovation comes from that. Innovation comes from pushing the boundaries of what you think you're capable of, what your business is capable of, or what your team is capable of, and then celebrate the successes. And that's the beauty of this. It's hard. The road is not easy and paved and etc. It's very, very complicated, and it has to reassess all the time and come back to your old self, and then push beyond. And I think this is very important in this environment of business, and then it has a ripple effect on your personal life.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I know we're gonna probably wrap this up, but just and we'll cover more of that. We're definitely gonna get into you in the mountain climbing, because there's so much richness to that and going into that. But yeah, that when you're saying about the status quo too, where a lot of another limiter being like the people pleasing, or being a visionary, or being a disruptor, that the vision is so big, or it is disruptive, or it doesn't quite fit like how you work, how you move. Maybe there is a little bit of loneliness, and the lone wolf aspect of it is like you're doing something that no one has done before, so you're working in the dark. So it's the limiter of being, and we can probably go into each one of these in detail. And of course, we actually really want you to comment, let us know which of these actually resonate with you. But the kind of lone wolf, that there's an aspect to that. And then there's the being tethered to logic. And when you're saying the path is not paved, it isn't like visionaries are working in the dark. So the being tethered to logic and seeing evidence and needing to see it being done first, it's like you can't, because you're a vision beyond the vision. Like you don't know exactly, maybe you know the direction that you're going, but because no one has done it before, you have no one to actually look at. And you're not here to actually build from a template. You're here to build from your own. And a lot of our stuff comes up, like the fear of perception, right? Of what this looks like, of being afraid to fail, right? Being afraid of what people think. I had a client who literally for a decade. Yeah. Right. I had, yeah, go ahead.
That's great. That's a great way to wrap things up and see how we can bring those entrepreneurs into an environment that quiets down the fear and the thing that's prevent them from moving forwards, and then bring that home, and then tap into you and your knowledge and your teachings and your expertise to really open up to everything, and then probably come back to us and say, I needed more. And then and full circle. There's so many things we can do. So thank you for today. That was
this was amazing. Yeah. So as we wrap up, just make sure that you join us. We're going to be doing this every week. We're going to continue this conversation. So make sure that you follow our accounts. And if you're on LinkedIn, you feel free to reach out to either of us to explore more of these topics. We definitely want to hear what resonated with you. What would you like us to dive into a little bit more around any of these topics? And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
With pleasure.
All right. See you, Caroline. Amazing. All right. Bye.